they're not much better.
You killed the Bloodpack guards.
Yep.
Not Bloodpack, not member of Clan Werlock. Wrong clan markings.
I'm an Urdnot scout. Werlock guards got me. Brought me here.
Sorry for camera shenanigans.
The Chief Scout told us to watch for you. We've taken out the guards. Get back to Urdnot.
I can't. The Werlock did things to me. Drugs. Injections. Said I was sacrificing for the good of all Krogan. Experiments to cure the genophage. Everything's blurry. Hard to think. Have to stay.
Do two wrongs make right? They don't.
Mordin, can you get him back on his feet? Stims maybe? Something to bolster his immune system?
You don't understand. I'm not too sick to leave. I have to stay. They're curing the genophage. They're gonna make it all better. They have to keep doing the tests.
Caution, Shepard. Patient unstable, susceptible, brainwashed.
Why do you want them to keep doing the tests?
This is my fault. I got caught. Wasn't strong enough. Not good enough. This is the best I can do. This is all I can do. I'm not big enough to have a real shot with the females. I'll never have kids of my own. But if I help undo the genophage, then I mattered.
You got a bruised ego. You got caught and beaten, so you tell yourself it was for something important.
That's not true. I need to stay. They're gonna cure us all.
You're not a real Krogan. When a real Krogan gets knocked down, he gets back up.
I did. I got back up every time they hit me. So many times.
You're lying there right now like a Vorcha grubbing in the mud. You gonna just lie there, Vorcha?
Screw you, human. Nobody says that to me. Nobody keeps me down.
Damn right they don't. Now get back to Clan Urdnot and report in. Go. Go!
Nice work. Reminds me of boot camp.
Not everyone have blinds here. The best one if you go Paragon and Escatelli. Shepard says, Krogan, that you're lying there like a Quarian by the time
Shepard, I'm detecting crates ahead that are holding unstable materials. A misplaced shot could cause a significant explosion.
Or
This?
a well-placed shot. Explosives useful. Burn through Krogan armor. Enemies inbound.
Taking heavy fire! Making contact!
Can't hide from me.
Boy. What's that scar?
Got a charger!
Burn through any armor.
incineration tech. Now.
Good. Nice, maybe jump. Now we need to go down or what?
Simple enough.
Switch up.
Get up the miniguns, get them out, and go. So yeah, with Krogan the problem, they have the same problem that like Russia does. Except, well, this sterility plague that Russians don't have. We didn't quite invent it yet. But otherwise they act a similar way. The destruction, the warmongering.
Simple enough.
Right.
Really hard to get it fixed.
Come in. I'll get you. Have a nice trip. Krogan inbound. Target down.
Boy.
Do the trick.
I've got it. I'll put him down.
Trouble and die of world's combat, well and built, chief of chiefs.
Attack!
Mordin?
Krogan on its way. Krogan on its way.
I noticed. Boy. Come on.
Get over here.
Deploying incineration tech.
Gravity's what he, brother, huh?
Now he's dead enough. Yeah, like the only solution for Krogan, it's not a question of whether we should to do the Gen of Age here in the series or stop it. That's not the main problem. The problem is whether Krogan will be able to reform. Because if they won't, they die. They destroy each other, they get destroyed by the rest. The galaxy that united to destroy the Reapers will undoubtedly unite to destroy the Krogan remnants if they keep attacking. So, like, no, there's no way for them to win. The only thing they can show is to, prove they're not a threat, and then this Gen of Age can be removed. Otherwise, Like they were self-destructive before.
This is valuable.
Without changing, they're goners. Hello.
Maelon, alive, unharmed. No signs of restraint, no evidence of torture. Don't understand.
For such a smart man, Professor, you always had trouble seeing evidence that disagreed with your preconceptions. How long will it take you to admit that I'm here because I wish to be here?
Maybe the Werelock brainwashed or drugged him to keep him under control.
Unlikely. Pupil's normal. Body language consistent with standard metabolic state.
Please, Professor, you wrote a paper on this. Forced behavior modification always results in mental degradation. Whether from Reaper indoctrination or drugs, test subjects always lose higher cognitive function.
Not brainwashed or conditioned. Need Maelon at peak capacity for work. Must be alternate source of coercion.
Yep.
The Blood Pack never kidnapped Maelon. He went to them. He's working on a cure voluntarily.
Contact said he was with Blood Pack. Assumed. But why? Never argued with necessity of genophage.
How was I supposed to disagree with the great Dr. Solus? I was your student! I looked up to you!
Experiments performed here. Live subjects, prisoners, torture and executions. You're doing?
We've already got the blood of millions on our hands, Doctor. If it takes a bit more to put things right, I can deal with that.
Two wrongs do not make a right. Huh.
You honestly think the experiments you did here are justified?
We committed cultural genocide. Nothing I do will ever be justified. The experiments are monstrous because I was taught to be a monster.
Mordin, did you ever perform experiments like this?
No. Never taught you this, Maelon.
So your hands are clean. What does it matter if the ground is stained with the blood of millions? You taught me that the end justified the means. I will undo what we did, Professor. The only way I know how.
This way?
What happens if the genophage is cured and the Krogan expand again? That will be on your head.
We justified this atrocity by saying the Krogan would cause havoc and war if their population recovered. But look at the galaxy. Batarian attacks in the Traverse, Geth attacks in the Citadel. Is this a more peaceful universe? The assault on your Eden Prime might never have happened if we had let the Krogan recover. We'll never know.
That's a horrible justification. For example, saying that like the current war we have with Russia wouldn't have happened if the Soviet Union was still there. But if Soviets were still there, we'd be dying by the millions, not by thousands.
How would a Krogan population explosion have done anything to stop Saren and the Geth?
An increased Krogan population would have forced the Council to take steps, likely involving colony rights in the Traverse.
Cool.
The Turian fleets would be vigilant for any military activity in the area. They might have stopped the Geth at Eden Prime.
Supposition. Impossible to be certain.
Don't you see? We tried to play God and we failed. We only made things worse. And I'm going to fix it.
History does not tolerate hindsight or suppositions. There's an actual Russian saying that goes like this. История не терпит сослагательного наклона. Forgot it. Whatever. You cannot use it. What would have happened if, like, Napoleon won, or what would have happened if he wasn't born, or what would have happened if Hitler didn't exist? This is not a thing you can do with history. We have what we have. What ifs are good for historical fiction, for video games, probably books, and nothing more. We need to deal with what actually did happen. Justifying empowering Krogan again after what they did because you see Saren as the bigger threat. A lot of people see either natives or communists as the lesser evil. You know who was right? we were, seen them both as equal evil. Communism is gone. Soviet Union is no more. We destroyed it. The referendum for independence. Third Reich is gone. We destroyed it when we burned Reichstag. And we're still there, we're alive. So... we were right. And... defeating Krogans here was also right. At that time, at that place. Imagine a galaxy wholly ruled by Krogan. How they would deal with the Reapers. That would be total extinction. But curing the Genophage during the Reaper War also makes sense, and using them against Rachni all has its time and place. I should stop being philosophical.
You talked about killing, but the genophage isn't lethal. It only affects fertility rates.
Krogan fight over fertile females. They become mercenaries or pirates because they see no alternative. They would be thriving in a cultural renaissance now had we not decided that this is what they deserved.
Inaccurate. Krogan population resulted in war. Simulations were clear.
Сослагательного наклонения. That's the phrase. История не терпит сослагательного наклонения. Why would Krogan have cultural renaissance? Why? It makes no sense. That's like saying that if Soviet Union didn't collapse with Gorbachev, it would be the first most developed country, comrade. No, we know what Soviet Union ended at. Like, you don't do that. And that's one of the reasons I pick a specific option in the end, usually. I don't believe some things can be renaissanced. At least you cannot force some things to change unless they want to change. It's not about Genophage. With them it's pretty clear Wrex wants to change, and he will, even if some are against that. But there's a certain other race. I wouldn't even call them a race. I don't believe Reapers can change, okay? No, like, stop pulling that crap. They're just absolute evil.
Why work with Clan Weyrloc? And how did you access the genophage data?
The data was easy to obtain. We all still had clearance. We were heroes. All I had to do was ask. As for the Weyrloc, they were the only clan with both the resources and the commitment.
Yeah, willing to sacrifice their own people to war crimes and human, well, Krogan experimentation. Human too, actually. Whatever.
Urdnot has a larger camp than Weyrloc. Why not use them?
Urdnot Wrex is too soft. He wasn't willing to do the experiments I needed. It's Urdnot's loss and Weyrloc's gain. Their clan will be the first to recover from the crime we committed.
Amazing. Maelon cannot be argued with. He's lost. He couldn't take the responsibility of what he committed.
We're shutting your lab down, Maelon.
Shutting down more than that.
You can't face the truth, can you? Can't admit that your brilliant mind led you to commit an atrocity!
Oh.
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. Won't change. No choice. Have to kill you.
Wait. You don't need to do this, Mordin. You're not a murderer.
No. Not a murderer. Thank you, Shepard. Finished, Maelon. Get out. No Weyrloc left. Project over.
What if he talks to more Krogan? Tells the public about the modified genophage project?
Special tasks group good at covering tracks. No proof. Weyrloc willingness to work with Salarian, unusual. Other Krogan will kill him.
Aren't you worried that he'll start his research again?
No. Locking this unit. Special task group can cut access to old data. Could start from scratch. Decades of work, though. Didn't teach you everything I knew.
You heard the professor. Get out before he changes his mind.
Where am I
Get
supposed
out!
to go, Professor?
Don't care.
Fuck
Try
off.
Omega. Can always use another clinic.
The Krogan didn't deserve what we did to them, Professor. The genophage needs to end.
Not like this. Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters. No kidnapping. My mistake. Thank you.
This is one of my favorite missions in this game. It's so great. It's morally complex. Everything is complex. Too complicated. You cannot make 100% judgment. Even Mordin is conflicted, despite so much data. Great. Ah,
Don't worry about me, Mordin. How are you doing?
Should have killed him. Wanted to. Easier than listening. Easier for him, too. Experiments indicate how far he's fallen. Expected it from Krogan. Not one of mine.
found a spot of racism. What?
Maybe you're giving the Krogan too little credit. Or giving the Solarians too much.
Possible. Sloppy thinking. Must correct. Maelon's research. Only loose end. Could destroy it. Closure. Security. Still valuable, though.
My favorite part in the Mass Effect writing with characters is how people are not as stubborn as they usually are. For example, you say, Mordin, that he might be wrong about Krogan and Solarians, and he isn't saying that you're stupid and I disagree with you. He's saying that, well, yeah, possible. Later, there's a character who's synthetic, a robot. You ask him, maybe you shouldn't use organic morals on synthetic people? And he says that, yeah, possible. No, I'm not saying that it's good that they agree with you, but that characters are willing to change and to think instead of and understand the other point of view. Is fixing a single byte of data in AI that makes a mistake as bad as organic brainwashing? I don't think so, personally. Some do, that's okay. But that's a good point to think. And if you watched any of the Gundams, especially Gundam Zeta, they say how the main problem was that people are not willing to listen to each other and understand them. Problems there with the space noids, with Earthlings, Titans and Ayuk, the new types, the ones wanting humans to evolve at any cost, and the ones not believing in evolved humans and trying to make it faster with cyber new types, artificial evolution, and they all just don't fucking listen to each other. And that's why Mass Effect is good. These people actually do. This research was sick, might be worth keeping.
If you think it could be useful, why not hang on to it?
Worked for years to create modified genophage. Should destroy this. Maelon's work could cure genophage. Don't know. Effects on Krogan, effects on Galaxy. Too many variables. Too many variables.
And this also increases player agency. Two extremely similar missions. Later with the synthetic companion, the secret one, and with Mordin. They both don't have enough variables, and your input can change. I know in the games like Power Fantasy and stuff, but the thing is that, have you seen any election in a democratic country, not a dictatorship, where the great father of nation gets 99% of votes, you know, Belarus, or Assad's fake referendums where he's the only candidate. And when a city, 10% of the city voted against him, he destroyed the city. Asked his Russian friends to bomb it to the ground. Why is his corpse here? He's alive. Whatever. Just prop. My point was that in any democratic society, the usual and that's my point about your voice in Mass Effect. You're that 1% that doesn't let maybe not one, maybe your voice is weighting more. I think there would be not an even 50-50 split later, but your voice is the one that's deciding, not because it's most important, not because it's the biggest, but because in a situation where there's not enough data to make the choice, you're that last straw that breaks the camel's back and persuades a final, actual choice to be made. Troubled by Clan Varlak's progress toward Jennifer HQ without Cerberus knowledge, your data might prove useful. Krogan dangerous, they've recruited shot troopers against Reapers, extremely valuable. Mordin's assistant no longer a problem. Mordin will have no trouble focusing on the mission. Got neural shock in your outfit, which is very different. Microfiber weave, it gives Krogan the healthy, and then heavy weapon ammo, which lets us get some more heavy weapon ammo. Credits, iridium, and that's about it. Let's check. I'm checking on my phone if I missed something on the mission. Heavy weapon ammo and vitality. Got them. Hacking the terminals and grab the cure. Earned achievement in the loyalty of the professor.
What did I tell you, honey? Isn't it beautiful?
A human killed the Thresher Maw.
Is it just me, or do the other Krogan not like me?
Oh, there's some concern about me bringing in a non-Krogan. I had to talk to the chief. It's not a deal.
Wait, so they don't even want me here?
Who cares what they want? I want you. That's all that matters.
I don't know if I can do this, Char.
Hey, now. My blue rose of Ilium always stands strong to reach toward the sun.
Okay, I'll manage. Just no more poetry.
I want to see who can have more than 2 pistols, 1 attacks alive. Okay.
I I thought coming to Tachanka would get me away from jaw-flapping aliens. I was obviously mistaken.
Yep.
If you're looking for work, you're shouting down the wrong hole. The Blood Pack only recruits Krogan. You again. I told you the Blood Pack only wants Krogan. Go flash your smooth skin.
Go to the clan leader. Urdnot Grunt, you can go where you want.
I don't have Grant with me.
Someday we'll get off this rock and show those Turians who's boss.
Clan Urdnot has increased in strength after the destruction of Clan Werlock. Based on population profiles, Clan Urdnot has adopted surviving members of Clan Werlock, mostly women and children.
Ah, intelligent move. Surprising from Krogan. Glad to see it.
He's still racist to them, but I don't blame him. Krogan just shown themselves over and over that it's hard to negotiate with them or doing anything. This reminds me of the situation we often quote about Carthage, I don't know how to call it in English, Carthagena. When there was a Roman parliamentary, how you call him, Cato, his name Cato, who ended all his speeches with, and I think Carthagena should be destroyed. Carthago delenda est.